If you're looking to do an O-ring wallet like this with screw holes in the wallet, you're going to need to take a look and pull all your information from this drawing and the sim activity all the way up here. So it's the third page down is the drawing, working drawing, and you're going to work through all these dimensions. So the first thing we're going to do is make a part that's 3.43 inches long, and the y-axis looks like 2.17 or 2.27, something like along those lines. It's pretty difficult to zoom in with this tool, but it's looks like 2.17 tall. So we're going to go ahead and get started with a sketch, extrusion, and then start modeling each of the parts out. This is kind of how I just give you an idea from start to finish. I started with an extrusion, fillets, another sketch on the face, and then an extrusion, more sketches and extrusions, holes, and then I just cleaned up some little spots here at the end. Open everything up, and then I would also import an SVG, whatever type of design I wanted on the face. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to go ahead and make a new file. We're going to go ahead and make a new untitled file. You're going to go ahead and go to, you should probably save it first. Control S or File Save, the Save button up here, and put your name down. O-ring wallet. And you can go ahead and get started. We always sketch in the XY plane, and if you're having a hard time figuring out where the XY plane is, you can just go ahead and select XY, and it'll flip it right there. It is the one on the top right. We're in sketch mode. We're going to go to rectangle, 2-point rectangle. We're going to go ahead and sketch out a rectangle. It's 2.17 large. You can make it a little bit bigger if you want. That's totally up to you. And then the other size of that wallet was, I'm going to scroll down here. This is the wrong activity. Is 2.17 and 3.43. 3.43, and you can always hit tab to select between them, and you want this to be up in the first quadrant. Now I'm going to expand this. I'm going to hit stop sketch down there, and now I'm going to extrude. Make sure you're on the extrusion. If you're not, just select extrude. Select this feature. I always like to go backwards, even though sometimes I don't. Negative 0.125 is the distance back. And now we can go ahead and create. We're going to modify and fillet all these corners. Zoom out. We're going to modify, and we're going to go 0.1 inches. And we'll double check that on our feature, but I believe that's correct. If you make a mistake on any of these and you're like, oops, I goofed something up, you can always go back in and edit that. It's super easy to edit. Scroll over. It's 0.1 radius, so we did do a 0.1. You can always double click right here and type in 0.1. So now our next feature is this feature here. Square shape is 0.891 up, so that is our y-axis there, and our starting location is 1.23, or ending is 2.19. So I'm going to move this over so I can see it in the background. I'm going to hit home. Our WCS, as you can see, is on the front portion of the part, so I like that. So everything went good so far. So go back to sketch, choose the top plane. Go ahead, go to rectangle tool. I don't know what I did there. I might have clicked a little too quick, but 2-point rectangle and start with a sketch. So I believe it was, I'm going to sketch paint plane over 0.891 tall. The width is going to be 0.477 times 2, because you see the radius right there is 0.477, so 0.477 times 2. And then our dimension to our start point of this wall is going to be 1.238. And that dimensions everything out. Now what we're going to do is come over here to sketch. We're going to go to fillet, and we are going to choose this fillet here at 0.477. And we're going to do another fillet here at 0.477. Hit enter. We're going we're going to need to do another fillet. We're going to do that afterwards. So stop sketch, create, extrude, and if you flip it up here to this view, you can just move the arrow back. It will change it to cut, plenty far back. Now it looks like there's a couple more radiuses here that are at 0.1 because it says 0.1 TYP. So I move over 0.1 typical, and there's needs to be a radius here. Create radius, center modify, fillet, and sometimes when you type in a value off the bat, it sometimes doesn't allow you to select multiple. Yeah, so your selection is limited now. You can't select it again. So sometimes making all of your selections and then typing your value can speed the process up. So now I have all my radiuses in for this feature, and I have the inside arc there. Now we're going to go ahead and sketch these, and these are kind of a little bit more complicated, as you can see up here. They have an inside radius, they're flat, they have a wall. We don't need to put that much detail or effort into this section here. We're just going to basically make a 2D sketch. I'm going to start with a rectangle, do an offset a little bit bigger than the size of the end mill, and worry about a circle that's going to have a radius of 1.5 inches or a 3.3 inch diameter. So I'm going to flip it back up to the orientation of the home view in the XY plane, select the plane on the face here, and I'm only going to focus on one of these. You only need to focus on one. I'm going to focus on that one right over here. So I'm going to try and move things out of the way. So we're going to go down 0.271, and we're going to make a sketch that's 0.571. So we've already started our sketch. We have a rectangle tool, and we're going to begin sketching a rectangle. That rectangle is 0.3 going up and down. It is going to be 0.15, I believe, going over. So I just need I can't quite see it. It's 0.145. So hit escape, come over here and go to sketch dimension. And this is 0.15. It should be 0.145. Or you can highlight it and type in 0.145, however you want to do it. Enter. Now you're ready to go ahead and create a circle. This circle is going to be a center point circle. And if you go to the center point here, it will give you a triangle and an X. And you can just go up to the end point here. And now you need to trim out the bottom of the circle. Very easy to do. You can go to the trim tool right here. You're going to trim this feature out, this feature out, this feature out. And we also need to get rid of that center line. We don't need it anymore. Give us an error, but I'm not too overly worried about the error. Now we're going to come over here to sketch. We're going to go to offsets, and we're going to select this offset feature, and we're going to type in the tool we're going to use to fit in here is a 5/64. Okay, well, how big is that in decimal? We're not exactly sure, so you can do 5 divided by 64 is 0.78125. So as long as this area here is about that size, or maybe just a tiny bit bigger, we're going to be able to mill this area out. So 0.78, if we go 0.78125, I believe that's going to work. We may need to edit that at a later point, but delete point and literally type in 0.078125, enter. Now we need to extend it down because you can see this feature here is extended all the way down. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to go over to sketch. We're going to go to trim. We're going to omit that line. We're going to go to sketch and extend these lines all the way to the end there. Now we're in good shape. Now we can go ahead and we're not going to stop sketch actually. We're going to do a couple more things. I'd like to mirror this all the way around. And before we even mirror, we need to put a start point right here at the center point. So I'm going to go to sketch, make a point, because this is where our circles are going to be. So we can kind of kill two birds with one stone without making a sketch. If you make sure you get a center point there, you're going to be in great shape for these circles. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come up here to sketch, go to the line tool, and bisect this part in half. Okay, so I'm going to bisect it from all the way across the top from the triangle point. I'm going to hit escape. I'm going to come up here to sketch, line tool, or you can just select L. And now I have my next bisecting point, which is right here at that triangle. go all the way across. You can. I just started outside the part. You don't need to, and hit the green check mark. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a mirror. We're going to mirror these features. There's an extra line here which I don't like. I'm going to cancel this. Don't know why there's a line there. There might be a line over here too. I'm going to delete those lines. We don't want them. Go back into Sketch, mirror, selection, and your mirror line, which is going to be right here. So now we flipped everything, including that center point, over. I believe the center point is going to go with it. If it doesn't, we might need to come back in and make some new center points. I'm not sure if it went, because you see there's like a black dot there, there's a white dot there. So I'm not sure if it grabbed the center point or not. But we're going to do this one more time. Sketch, mirror, and this time select everything here. And I'm going to mirror over this plane. Hit OK. And I don't really think that the center points went in and mirrored all the way around. So we're going to go to the point tool and just select each of the center points here. Center points are in. Stop sketch. Control S for save. Hit OK. We are almost there right now. We're going to extrude these features down for all of them. Create, extrude. And we know that this depth of this feature is going to go down negative 0.055, so that's what we're going to do. And we're going to, if that happens, it's not the end of the world. Expand this out, minimize this in, and go to sketches and just turn the check mark back on for the sketches. So go to extrude, and you want to select this one, do your selections, then do a negative 0.055, and hit OK. Everything worked out. This looks awesome. All these features, you see, like we have totally extruded out. Don't worry about the radius on the inside. I think it might just goof things up for the cam. For the cam side of things, it's going to be easier to do it with the squares. And we also have the points here now for the hole. So do another Control S for save. Hit OK. We're going to go to create, and we're going to go down here to hole. And we're going to create 3 holes with countersink. So make sure you go to countersink, and we're going to go to select. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. The drill depth, as long as you're through the part, it doesn't matter what your drill depth is. 0.25 is your drill depth. That's why I put. You can do the same, or as long as you go through the part, just inspect that it goes through all the way through the part. The next thing, diameter is 0.112. Our tip angle is 118. Our countersink depth is 0.15. Our countersink angle is 82 degrees. So if all these match up, I don't have to do any changes as it remembers from my last time. You're going to go ahead and select OK. Now the very last thing you're going to do is hit Control S again for save. We're going to hit the save button up here. And now we're going to create threads. So we are going to put threads in all of these features. So one, I'm going to go, oh, it's not allowing me to, I think you're going to have to select each of these, which is a bummer. Model, create threads. I like a modeled. Okay. I don't know why you can't select multiple features, create threads. And I believe when you select here, it should give you a number 4. 3B is not a big deal. You can change it to 2B if you want, but as long as it's right-handed, you're in good shape. And I like to have modeled. I really like that feature in the software, Fusion 360. Choose modeled, hit OK. Now you have a final product. Go ahead and hit save. You don't have to worry about the chamfer. We'll do that in the cam feature. The last thing you could probably add in is insert your SVG if you already have that selected, and you can do a USA flag or American flag silhouette or Blackhawks or Bears. I'm in the mood to do another Bears logo, so I'm gonna go ahead and set this Bears one in and move it around, shrink it right here. This is what I want right here. I'm going to center it up. I still see that centering line. Stop sketch. Hit OK. Everything looks good. I'm going to hit Control S for save, and that's all I have for you guys today on the sketching and the modeling of this next wallet. Thank you for watching.